Hello my friends, welcome to my Friday YouTube video here on YouTube. My name is Sarah McGuire. I am from Sassy Paper Crafts. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm going to show you exactly how to make this card. I love this card. It is super cute, perfect for Father's Day, which is coming up quite soon. So if you want to see how to make this card, please keep watching. So to start our card, we're going to be using the Let's Go Fishing Suite in the Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog, pages 78 and 79. The suite is what I purchased. I love that they'll do a suite and one item number, so you can get everything in that suite with one number. No muss, no fuss. So in the suite, you'll get the Gone Fishing stamp set and the Gone Fishing dies. This is a photopolymer stamp set with 16 stamps, and the dies, I believe there are 17 dies in here, but how cool are these? So this actually makes like a tackle box. I posted on my blog on Wednesday a card using most of these dies. We're going to be using a few today, but you can click the link in the description of this video to head over to my blog and see that card. Move these out of the way. It also includes the Twisted Rope 3D embossing folder, which you can't really tell on camera, but we are going to be using that a little bit today. And I think it's the Let's Go Fishing Designer Series paper. I'm going to show you this paper really quick. We are using that as our background today. This is a lovely paper, perfect for guide cards, perfect for fishing and nautical themed cards. Also, we're going to be using this one here. Also, retirement cards. You can make these into birthday cards if you just switch out the sentiment. Love this suite. So that's the paper. And now let's get into making our card. The first thing we're going to do here is a little bit of stamping. Let me get some stuff out of my way. And don't worry about writing measurements or anything down. Everything is on my blog. If you click the link in the description of this blog or YouTube video, it'll take you directly to the blog post. So we're going to be doing our stamping first. I just have a scrap here of Very Vanilla. It has a little something on it. And that's what we're going to start our stamping with, because I'm going to be die cutting these things out. So I have some of my stamps here. We're going to need the little lines. I'll show you on the stamp so it's easier to see. We're going to be using this one, these two, these two, these two, that, and that. So lots of stamps here, lots of stamping. I also need Pebbled Path, which I didn't grab, Pebbled Path and Boho Blue. So I'm really only going to be using two colors here. I did try to use a little Misty Moonlight, but I feel like it looks pretty identical. So I'm just going to stick with the Boho Blue and the Misty Moon, or the Pebbled Path. So we're going to start with our lures. I'm going to get this one out of the way just for a minute. We're going to start with our lures, and we're going to ink everything up first in Pebbled Path. So I'm just going to grab my little fishy lure here, ink that up right onto the Very Vanilla cardstock, grab our bobber, oh, I went off the page a little bit. I'm going to do that one again. Do it right here. And put the wrong one on. And grab our other little hook and lure. And that one can go there. And now I'm going to clean off my stamps quick because I need the blocks so we can do the insides of them. I need to spray this. So this is my Stampin' Scrub. I just spray it with a little bit of Stampin' Mist on the wet side, then on the dry side. And these stamps are good to go and use again. If you did decide to place an order this month, use my June host code if your order is under $150, because you will get 4 free card tutorials, the Countryside Inn card tutorials, with every purchase. And you will get the Boho Blue textured ribbon, a whole roll of it, with orders over $50. So before I put my Pebbled Path away, I want to grab one of these squares. Now, I cut out 2 squares using the Stylish Shapes dies. These are those. I'll show you them quickly because they are my favorite dies right now. You get stitched circles, stitched squares, and these stitched banners. I used the second smallest square here. I cut out 2 of those, put that away. Now we can put some of these on our block. So we need our bobber, we need that one. And before I put Pebble Pathway, I am going to ink it up with the little line stamp here. We're going to do one of our squares. And so what I did was I just inked it up once and then went again and one more time. Just to get a nice, and you can even go off. That's going to dry down a little bit, but you can stamp off once and go on there. I just went full force with it. So now I'm going to grab my boho blue, move this square out of the way, and grab our, what are going to be die cuts. We'll do our bobber first. And now the easiest way for me to line these up is to literally put my head over them and look. And they line right up. I love the photopolymer stamp sets because everything does line up so easily. We get our little lure here. And you just see right through it. You line it up. Easy peasy. Now with this one, I like to line up the eye. It's just easier for me. When you look, his little eye there, it's on the stamp. Way easier for me. So I'm going to set this aside. Now we're going to do a little bit of heat embossing. So I have my Happy Father's Day. I'm going to move these. We still have to do the inside of our card as well. And I also have a piece of Pebbled Path cardstock. Now I have the Embossing Additions toolkit here. It comes with this tray, an Emboss Buddy, a brush, and tweezers, which usually, there they are, and these tweezers. I'm going to be using those too. I keep these in a cup on my desk because I use them so often. So the first thing we're going to do is use our Emboss Buddy, and I want to turn my cardstock the right way. Use the Emboss Buddy. I'm just going to go over it very lightly. I'm not pushing very hard. I'm just kind of getting this gets the static off so that your powder doesn't just stick where you don't want powder. Now I'm going to take my Versamark ink pad. This is a clear watermark ink pad. And I ink up my sentiment. Make sure I get it good and inky. And then I'm just going to put it right in the center of that cardstock, pressing down, not super hard, but I want to make sure I get that Versamark on there. I'm not sure if you can see that, but we'll grab it with our tweezers. So it's clear right now, but what I'm going to do is grab my tray, get this stuff out of here, and I'm going to grab some white emboss powder. This comes in a pack of 3. You get white, black, and clear, and the basics embossing powder. And then we also have a metallics pack that has gold, silver, and copper. So I'm going to sprinkle the white just over my sentiment. Sometimes I like to try to pour it back in the jar, but it's okay if you don't, because that's what this awesome tray is for, right? So I'm just going to take it and just flick it a little bit with my tweezers and get all that excess off. And if you get excess that you just can't get off, that's what the brush is for. And you can just make sure not to brush your sentiment though, because it will come off. So I'm going to set that right there. I'm just going to pour this right back into the jar. Sometimes I like to take my brush and just brush it down in there. This stuff lasts forever. I've had this jar for literal years, like years, and it's still got so much in it. So a thing of embossing powder lasts a very long time. So I'm going to move this out of the way, and then I'm going to grab my heat tool. And this is what's going to heat up that Versamark, well, the powder, and it's going to melt it and turn it into a nice raised little image. Oh, I need my tweezers because I don't want to burn my fingers. So I'm going to take my tweezers, put that back, and I'm going to stand up so you can see the magic happen. And that's what it turns into. And I do have a couple little spots where I didn't really want powder, but you know what? That's okay. So I hope you could see how cool that is. I love that. That's one of my favorite things. I love heat embossing. So now I'm going to die cut out my pieces. This second square here, I need to use my embossing folder on. So I'm going to do that, and then we can put our card together. So I have everything die cut and ready to go, but we do still have a little bit more stamping to do because I want to do the inside of the card. Whoops, the inside of the card. I love that saying, so glad you're my dad. So I have my pebbled path here and our little line stamp. I'm just going to take it, ink it up. I'm going to do one at the bottom and one at the top opposite corner. And then we're going to ink up our sentiment for the inside in that pebbled path. I'm going to try to get it good and centered. Perfect. So that's it for stamping. I'm going to move this out of the way so I don't stick my finger in it. Now we can put our card together. So I do have a Misty Moonlight base. You can use boho blue. I just liked how the Misty Moonlight was. It's a tad bit darker than that boho blue. I'm going to put that down, and then I have another piece of pebbled path. Again, all the measurements are on my blog. And then our designer series paper, I'm going to flip that over, run some seal along the back. And we're just going to layer that onto the pebbled path. And then we can put this layer onto our card base. Make sure I'm going the right way there. Just like that. And then we can put our inside piece in. Now let's get our squares down. I have a couple of Misty Moonlight squares here. I'm just going to add some seal. Just kind of center them. And then our textured piece. Hopefully you can see that. I just thought it gave a nice little bit of texture in the background. And I'm going to put these down with seal. Normally I would use a dimensional, but I didn't want to make the height of the card too big. So I'm going to stick one down in the bottom corner and the other in the top corner. And then I'm going to grab a few mini dimensionals for our bobber and lures. If you don't have mini dimensionals, regular dimensionals work just fine. You just may need to cut them down. So we'll put our fishy one up here. And this one can go there. Be careful going off of the card too much. You do want it to still be able to fit in an envelope. And then I'm going to take regular dimensionals and put them on our sentiment. I'm going to use 3 just because we did use heat, and if you could see, it's kind of warped a little bit because we used that heat. Oh, I got a dimensional backing stuck to it, and I'm going to stick that right in the middle, kind of on top of both of those. And before we're finished, I do want to add some bling, get these backings out of the way before they end up all over my house. I'm going to use a few of the rustic metallic dots that did carry over into the new catalog. I need to get some more. I only have a couple left, but I'm going to stick 3 right down in this corner. And I just kind of go in a line. 3, and that is our card. And maybe I did stamp off on that one, but you know what? I still like the look of it. It looks almost like the same card. So I hope you enjoyed this card today. I hope it inspires you to get into your craft room and get crafty. Father's Day is June 18th. But again, you can make this a retirement card, a birthday card, whatever you need a card for. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out all the supplies and measurements on my blog linked in the description of this video. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button to see new videos from me every Friday. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time.